Arnie's back in The Last Stand, his first leading role in almost 10 years. I don't know about you, but I'm celebrating. What better way than with some fine examples of movie licensed video games for the Sega Genesis and Sega CD. Back in the day, if you saw a movie poster that read a film by James Cameron starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, you just knew it was going to kick ass. No question. Terminator may be a franchise that suffered through a couple of awful sequels in a television series that nobody liked up until it was cancelled. That first film, though, is untouchable. Needless to say, I couldn't wait to get my hands on the game. Being a Sega kid, we bought the Genesis version. Awesome. Just awesome. Already I love the music. Brad Fiddel's classic score sounds right at home on Genesis. There's some decent cutscenes using stills from the film and a plethora of text. A little lengthy, though it does put me in the right mood. Okay, there's Reese. I gotta say, this is absolutely gorgeous. It captured the lighting and production design of Cameron's neo-noir sci-fi action thriller quite well. You have an unlimited supply of grenades and some high explosives that beam down in front of you. Grenades are typically a secondary weapon. This is the future. Where are all the phaser guns? Before I could adjust, I'm given a boss. My ass puckers at first, though I blow it all to hell before I can piss myself. It's mere moments until I face off against a flying HK that crop dusts me with bombs. This game means business. Again, it comes down with a minimum of fuss. Climb down a ladder and finally I'm killing Terminators. The grenades suck though. They fly over enemies, so I gotta duck for them to have any effect. Takes 2 grenades to bring these fuckers down and they respawn. The high explosive should wipe the screen clean, but if they're hit by laser fire, they won't do a goddamn thing. Really, you should use them to open doors. But oh gee, I'm fresh out of explosives. I'm officially screwed. Can I go back? Nope. Oh, another plus. No lives. Die once and you're shit out of luck. I'm gonna try this again. On easy, because I'm a big girly. Make the same run down the ladder and now I have a laser rifle. Nice. This is much, much easier. The Terminators explode after a couple of shots and will occasionally leave life in their wake that you don't really need because it's easy. Once you drop some explosives by an energy generator, you have less than a minute to reach the time machine. Cakewalk. Level 2 has Reese running down the streets of 1984 Los Angeles, blowing away punks with Molotov cocktails and cops. What, cops? You can't kill them. Really, they're just stunned for a few moments. That's kind of funny, don't you think? Several 12-gauge rounds to the chest or legs will kill these tossers, yet it only stuns the police. Are we sure they're not the real Terminators? You get to a phone and continue on your path toward Tech Noir. Once inside, you finally meet that big bad motherfucker. Shoot him down a couple of times, collect Sarah, then move on to the police station. It's just like the last level, except you're in a station house. The last level, yeah, there's only 4 levels. You're in Cyberdyne systems. This is where the gameplay changes slightly. The Terminator is your only enemy. You shoot him a few more times until he's nothing more than a torso. The goal here is to reach the compactor without the Terminator trapping you. We're now playing keep away with one of the deadliest machines known to man. The game ends, watch some credits, and
I'll be back.
okay, that's awesome. You know, this looks and sounds fantastic, but it's too damn short. In spite of this, the lack of lives is really frustrating. Imagine getting all the way to the end, only to die once and do that shit all over again. Normal is fucking ridiculous. Hard to believe I've seen video where people can just march through it. Fair and square, I might add. It's not terrible though. Again, graphics, sound, and control are fantastic. Just a shame more wasn't done. That is where the SEGA CD game comes in. The cutscenes are awful. Really, they look terrible, even by SEGA CD standards. What's really strange is that Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't in a single frame of video. Doesn't make any sense. He's on the main menu, yet nowhere else. So weird. On top of that, there's no dialogue or sound effects, just the Terminator theme over and over again. So fucking stupid, but at least you can skip them. Essentially, this is the same concept as Dave Perry's Genesis game, though it's been completely reworked and expanded. The visuals are even more striking. Levels have been broken up into several stages, and you're given more enemies to fight. Skin jobs, endoskeletons, and hunter-killers of many shapes and sizes. There's so much detail here, like the explosions going off in the distance, mounds of human skulls in the foreground that shifts with the change in perspective. Visually, this is an amazing looking game for its time. Music's incredible. While some score was taken from the movie, namely the theme, everything else is original, courtesy of Tommy Tallarico. This would make for an awesome rock album. There are times where the score feels a little out of place, like it's almost too upbeat. Fuck it, I'll take it. Amongst this version's many improvements, you now have lives. Since the levels are much larger, you can really explore and find special items like bombs, upgrades for your main weapon, and extra lives. Platforming plays a greater part here. Jumps can be tricky, but a little patience goes a long way. Bosses are more challenging, but this is fairly easy, even on normal. The Terminator's still a punk. Honestly, I don't know what more they could have done to make him any harder. Of the two games, the SEGA CD version is superior. They're both entertaining, though there's more to love with the SEGA CD. If you can only get a hold of one, get a SEGA CD. Alright, moving on to True Lies. Whenever I've talked about games based on movies, this one's rarely mentioned. This kind of bothered me, because I played the shit out of this thing. At first, it looks as if the narrative is in lockstep with the film. You get what looks like a promotional still with a bit of text, setting the scene. As you can see here, it's a top-down perspective, much like in Rambo 3. Tom Arnold's character informs Harry of his objectives, then sends him on his mission. All you have on hand is a handgun with unlimited ammo, though as you progress, you'll find an Uzi, a shotgun, and grenades. Now don't get too excited, for ammo's sparse depending on difficulty. While you can start blowing people away right from the get-go, you're better off waiting until you reach the second floor. Fewer innocent bystanders there. Oh god, that's fucking annoying. Whenever you cap a civvy, Tom Arnold yells at you. What the fuck? Kill two more, you lose a life and restart the stage. At least they're only in a few stages though. The levels grow larger and more maze-like. You'll hunt down keys that unlock doors or gates, crates that need to go boom, kinda like Rambo 3. Actually, this is a lot like Rambo 3, but bloodier. I gotta admit, this is way more fun than having enemies freeze, flash, vanish. They bleed out, explode, and burn to a crisp. That's just awesome. Anyway, when you're not taking part in this bloody scavenger hunt, a few levels have you trying to outrun helicopters and jet skis. One level actually lets you pilot a marine harrier, blowing up sport utility vehicles and trucks carrying nukes. As much as I love smoking these henchmen, it gets old after 10 to 15 minutes. Some of these stages are fucking huge. You need a map half the time, otherwise you're totally lost. In the subway, yeah, I don't remember Harry shutting down a terrorist cell in a tube. It's ridiculous. After a few twists and turns, I have no clue where I'm supposed to go or what to do when I get there. I'm so pissed I hit reset and put in the code for level select. Holy shit, this is a long fucking game. What's this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that reads China. That threw me for a loop the first time I saw it. Harry never went to China. Considering how simplistic the gameplay is, True Lies is just way too long. Talk about overstaying your welcome. Really, this isn't a bad game. In many respects, this would have made for an okay first-person shooter. Unfortunately, what we have here is a long-winded top-down shooter lacking in variety. This isn't a horrible way to let off some steam after a crappy day at work and a lousy commute. Then again, you could be playing Terminator instead.
It's just him and me and me.